Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hi. Happy Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. Yay. How's everyone doing tonight? How is everyone? Let's see who's in here. Let's say hi. This is going to be like a short one again. Probably less than an hour because I know that we're going to talk. Plus, I'm going to address the moron of the day here in a few minutes too. But this interview is, I think, only like 6 minutes long. And I went in and I ran it through the program one more time, bringing the volume up from 100 to 200 to see if it sounds better than yesterday's. Now, again, yesterday's was only audio, so it came in like a completely different format. This one is like the interview room where they're blurred out and it's the big door and it's the horrible like fisheye angle with no timestamp or anything like that. Yeah, 6 minutes and 36 seconds for Ava's interview. So it's not going to be for very long. We won't be up here for very long. So it's okay that it's late because we're not going to be here for very long. Hey there, Crystal. How you guys doing? Hey there, Lady Di. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all had a good weekend. Well, hey, Deidre. How you doing? How you doing? Hi there, Carla. Hey there, say what? How are you doing? Hey, Teresa. How are y'all doing? So guess where I went this morning, guys? I impromptu joined Willie's panel this morning because DKM, how you doing? Hey there, Nash Ash, how you doing? They were discussing the DoorDash thing. So I jumped on to be like, hey, if you need the document, it's in the description box of my live if y'all want to pull it up. But instead, what I encountered was one of the biggest pieces of shit that exists on YouTube on Willie's panel. And I am just going to take a second to address this now because this same stupid loser that attacked my daughter in a video that she saw when she was 17 and cried her eyes out about it is going to do a live tomorrow exposing my hate for him. I hate you because you talk shit about my child. Plain and simple. This guy's name is J-Rod. J-Rod on point. The Puerto Rican blah, 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 whatever. He's a loser. He can't even say my name correctly. But he was on there saying some incorrect information about the Bryan Kohberger case. So I went to join the panel to just agree with, I think Miss Potts was up there. Was it Miss Potts that was up there? Who was up there? Who was up there? I got so mad about the idiot in the chat that I forgot who was up there. But I got on there to be like, yes, you're correct because he's incorrect. The knife attack situation in 2021 was fabricated to put Bryan Kohberger's name in it because BK Norton lied to the police saying that there was an event that took place in 2021 for the Criminal Justice Department trying to put Bryan Kohberger in the area when it didn't exist. And we have the emails from Pullman that show that somebody came in and gave false information and Pullman had to contact the school and the school told Pullman PD no such event existed. So that person lied and it was BK Norton, the same person who started the formal complaints, the person that got into a heated debate where she marched out of the room crying during class and then he tried to ask her out for coffee to like make amends, but she doesn't like dudes. So she got pissed off that he asked her out and she reported him to HR the next day. That is the person who got Bryan Kohberger's name put on the suspects list for that. And this idiot that can't do math or anything else correctly was trying to say that he really was there and he really did this and he really did that. Well, the reason why he's such a loser is because he did this video, posted this video, left the video up there for quite a while. I didn't even know that it was still up there at the time that Ariel ran across this video. But what he was basically trying to do is say that my uncle that was murdered in 2001, which is 6 years before Ariel was born in 2007, was the reason for her HIV. Her HIV that she's had now for over a decade that came from a situation that happened at a medical facility. That guy said that about that situation. So he can't even do basic kindergarten math, but thinks that he needs to be out here in the true crime world. So apparently he's going to be doing a live tomorrow around noon, talking shit about me and Willie, which is what I went on there to warn Willie about. That he is going to, the second that you disagree with him or find out who he is, he's going to come out and he's going to attack your child, your minor child, the best way that he can, because he's a piece of shit. So now that's addressed, and now y'all know the truth. And people in the chat and people in this chat right now saw that video. Ariel saw that video, ran into my room, yelling, cussing, face red, eyes balling tears. This piece of shit has been a piece of shit since the second I got into the true crime community. He is someone who has been on YouTube for like over a decade. He has several channels and all of them are flops. All of them are failures. So the second that I started talking about Kylie Rodney, he started following my every move. And he would tag me and shit all of the time that I never paid attention to because I'm not on here to try to talk to you, bro. I don't need you to keep trying to get my attention. And I ignored the shit out of him. On top of that, mostly everything he says is wrong. And we debunk bullshit here. So he hated me instantly because I surpassed him. Everybody has. You're not good at what you think you do. You suck at life. So now he's going to be running his mouth again and saying that it's because he's a small creator. I had 1,200 subscribers when he started basically stalking my every move on YouTube. I hate you because you talk shit about my child. And if you were physically in front of me, people would have to pull me off of you because I wouldn't stop. Let's just put it that way. So he's going to go live tomorrow and run his stupid little mouth, apparently about me and Willie. And that's all the truth is. He came out and did a video that everyone saw. And now he wants to try to make us look like the bad guys for calling him out for being a piece of shit. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. But that's the story. And I just wanted to put that out here now because I know that he's going to be going live tomorrow again, like I said. And he's a loser. And he'll always be a loser. Yes, I hadn't been on a panel in a while, and it was a good conversation. We talked about that part. We talked about the Indiana traffic stops. Jesse jumped up there. It's been a long time since I talked to Jesse. I met Jesse 3 years ago when we were all hanging out over on Dago's channel. And I mean, look, as much as I have like isolated myself because people are stupid and dramatic and dumb, I probably should start putting myself out there a little bit more and maybe joining panels every now and then to start having discussions, because I know there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of stuff, and some people do have things that I haven't seen. I know some people don't know things that we've done out here. So I'm going to obviously be super selective, but I definitely think that I'm going to start adventuring out a little bit more and just keep it to the channel, like keep it to the crime story that we're talking about and just leave it at that. Because when you try to make friends with people is when it's a problem. And I don't want to be friends with people like that. We can discuss things about the case. Even if we disagree, there's plenty of people that I still have acquaintances with or acquaintance type relationships with that are creators on YouTube that think that he's guilty of sin. And I still have conversations with them, even though they know that I think completely differently. And we can do that and it's just fine. So I think I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to definitely email the custody queens back so that I can start figuring out what day that they want to do that little thing so that we can talk about the case and go back and forth. I know they have Devil's Advocate on quite a bit, and I know that he's been trying to get some information and filing letters and things like that. I'm going to start venturing out just a little bit carefully until I feel the need to stop. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so put a 1 in the chat if you guys already watched the interview of Ava Woods, because it's very like little. Again, it's less than 7 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really good thing. It's a really good question. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a statute that's got surpassed, some sort of limitations that got surpassed, because I really thought that like, well, actually we know there's like a 2-year one. But I swore that they like held their, or shall I say reserved their right. But I don't know. I don't know what goes on in the background. I don't know what goes on in the background. But I feel like that should have been like number 1, a lawsuit against MPD. I really do. Do they talk to him like a lot? Because I know that they had him on like one time. But I really can't hold everything against everybody all the time. See, my problem is that I expect people to behave the way that I behave. And that's been a downfall in my relationships when it comes to friendships and romantic relationships combined, because I don't understand how people behave certain ways, and I expect people to do things the way that I do things, but I'm also almost 40 and I know that that's not logical. And I know that everyone is like different, so I know I need to start giving a little bit of leeway to people, but I'm still going to always keep my stance and make my stance very much known. But I also can't completely fault people for entertaining certain things if they don't know better, or if it's just like a thing that didn't even get brought. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that the more people that are talking about the situation here, the more people that are going to start paying attention to the problems. And again, like I said yesterday, if it's so freaking horrible in Delphi, all of the lies that were told to put Richard Allen where he is, why is it okay for all the lies coming out in this case against Kohberger, even before the plea deal? But when it comes to lies in Delphi, people want to freaking burn the place down. They should be being treated the same way. And maybe if there's just more going around everywhere, then maybe it'll get like that. I don't know. See, yeah, because they're attorneys. So yeah, I really would like to go on and talk to them. I mean, I know that they're custody attorneys, but they still know the way that like certain protocols and procedures are supposed to go. On top of that, they're in California. So there's some questions that I would actually like to ask them when it comes to certain things in the Kylie Rodney case, because I think that they would maybe know a couple of answers I have with court processes, maybe, because again, California. So yeah, I'm going to email them this week so that we can figure out something, and I'm going to see if I can pick their brains a little bit about a couple questions I have about Kylie's case. I think that's what we're going to do. But okay, we're going to go ahead and start listening to this interview. Again, it's tiny. But then I'm going to show you the piece that I've talked a lot of shit about when it comes to Vicky Ward, the person who helped James Patterson write this complete trash book. And I'm going to show you where she basically says to Ava, oh, what was so important that the prosecution knew that you had information about, that they were going to call you to be a witness at trial? Nay, it was the defense. It was not the prosecution. And it's just funny because Vicky Ward's like, for people that didn't read the book, they might not know. You wrote the book and you don't know. What do you mean? You wrote it and you don't even know. It's just crazy the amount of dumb that came out of this whole case. It really just is. It's insane. Super insane. All right, let me get this up here. Again, I ran it through the system at least like one more time, just so it's louder. And she doesn't say anything significant. I'll tell y'all right now. Ava does not say anything significant. She didn't have any interaction with them whatsoever the night before. Nothing. I don't really understand why they felt the need to bring her in to interview her on the 13th, other than the fact that she brought blankets out to them and she was like basically sort of like at the scene. But that's pretty much it. She doesn't really have anything to say besides the whole, oh, I was home and somebody jiggled my door handle situation. Okay, well, you didn't call the cops and nothing else. And for some reason, y'all just think that nothing happens in Moscow, which is also strange because you're going to hear Ava mentioned a serious situation that she had been part of prior. And even in that, like, you don't have any precaution. You don't have anything in the back of your mind telling you, I need to be more mindful when someone comes and jiggles your door handle. Like, there's nothing wrong with calling the cops and being like, hey, I don't know if it was just a drunk guy going to the wrong door or not, but could somebody please come by and just make sure there's not some weirdo stalking me around my apartment because somebody just tried to open my door. It would have taken them 5 minutes to leave that damn station, go down there, patrol around, talk to you for a second to make you feel okay and go back. Why wouldn't you have called the cops? Somebody tries to pop my door open, there's going to be some things happening. I'm not just going to be in my room cowering like a coward and just waiting to see what they're going to do. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play this. And again, it's very short. Let me know how the sound is.
Okay.
When he shut that door, it was like, it's ridiculous. Of course he is. He's one of those guys that you just know is missing something because he's constantly trying to compensate for something. He's such a stupid little loser. All right, it's very loud. Okay.
Can I get your first name, please?
My last name is...
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it your legal first name or
Yes.
for something else?
No, it's my legal name.
And your date of birth?
No, 2001.
And your address?
Which one? My Moscow address or
Moscow.
Moscow, Idaho.
And the phone number for it?
I carry mine everywhere.
Is your license in Idaho or a different
That's
state?
a clip.
Okay. All right.
That stays
So
stays
what we're trying to do is get a timeline
one of many.
of any kind of timeline that anyone can give us of the events from last night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What interactions did you have with anyone that lives on that 1122 King Road address?
I had zero interactions with any of them. I
Okay.
work with the football team, so I
put
was
that picture
working in
Okay.
the football.
But I don't know why she's blurred anyway, because she has come out and done documentaries. She has come out and done interviews, and her mama sits next to Maddie's mom. When Maddie's mom was going around and doing a couple of interviews, wasn't it Ava's mom that was sitting next to her? And I found it like kind of strange, because when the best friend relationship between Kaylee and Maddie would be mentioned, Ava's mom would make some sort of just like face, like she didn't like the fact that was being said. So I don't know why they blurred her, because she's been all over social media. Over 2 years, bro. That's such a long time. Headers, betters. Thank you for being here.
Until I think I got home around 8:45, and ever since then I was at home in bed, and then this morning I heard all of the ambulances and everything. And I saw out my window a few of my close friends standing there, and
Yeah, you're right. I knew it was an A. Right, correct. It was Ashlyn's mom, not Ava's. Okay. So then Ashlyn was the one that was close to Maddie. Ava really doesn't have a lot of anything then. But she still went around and did a bunch of interviews. She was in documentaries. Like, I don't know why she inserted herself so much when she really doesn't have anything to say.
Had to do this a few years back with the borderline shooting in Thousand Oaks when a mass shooter came in. And
yes.
So it's just like an instant replay. So seeing them standing there with the white blankets, I just knew something was wrong. So I walked out and brought more blankets out there and just sat there and comforted them. And then that's kind of when we found out everything. I still don't really know what's going on.
Okay. Do you know, like, any of the people that live there, like Ethan and Xana?
So I know that Ethan and Xana and Maddie Mogen and Kaylee Goncalves, they were all four pronounced dead, I believe.
Okay. Do you know those four?
Yes.
Okay, are you fairly close to them?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can shed a light on that might lead us in a direction to find somebody who might do something like this?
So I was actually on the phone with my dad, and I've been talking to him. So a few weeks ago, at about 1:30 in the morning, what sounded to be a man started walking up my stairs and tried to open my door. This was on October, let me see.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she means like the 12th going into the 13th, but it's still interesting that they brought her in to talk to her when she literally had no recollection of what they did on the 12th. She wasn't anywhere near them. Like anything that she's going to tell Dustin Blaker, which is obviously nothing, she would have gotten from being in the huddle that morning in front of the house, bringing them blankets. She would have no information.
October 15th.
Okay.
No, sorry. October 14th. It was October 14th, that Friday night, when I heard somebody trying to come up my stairs and open my door, and I have a deadbolt and a lock on my door. And
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is her. That's what we were trying to figure out when we were going through the footage the other day, because a girl comes out of 1112 and then goes over towards like Jack's house with a blanket on in her arm. And then she comes back with like a whole bunch of people, and she's carrying now a second blanket, but she goes back into 1112. And then they come out again and they don't go back there. They go again, like out the driveway back towards the street. So I'm really confused about where she came out and did anything that she's claiming that she did. Maybe she came out from the other side. I just know that the girls that came out of 1112, I don't remember them at this moment going that direction. I remember them just going in and out, and I remember like them carrying food bags too at some point. I don't know. The raw footage for that one is going to drop in the morning. It was going to come out today. It took me 4.5 hours to download the raw footage. Again, these muted files are taking like 3 times longer to upload than the ones with all of the noises. I don't know what it is. I'm not doing anything different. It's straight up downloading it in 4K, and it's muted. So you'd think that the file would be smaller and wouldn't take as long. And then tell me this. I actually went and took a nap. Came back in here and it was at 96%. I went to open StreamYard to get this scheduled and it dropped down to 95%. I was like, why are you back? Why are you going backwards? Why are you going backwards? I don't know, guys. And the Spectrum people came out and redid my entire cable. He was up on my garage, walking over the garage to get to the freaking thing behind the tree, like scaring the shit out of me, thinking he was going to fall. I was watching him like a hawk out of my back window, like, you're not falling, bro. Not without me watching it and seeing what's going on. And it still is not up to par. And he said that if this didn't fix it, then they're going to have to fix it at the pole, because it's obviously nothing else they can do. It's like at the main road, because it would have released earlier today. So we'll keep an eye on that. Tomorrow I'll watch it as it's going and see like where they're going in and out, because I'm trying to figure out where Ava came from and where she was going, if that was her. Because I just don't remember them going behind the house. I don't.
The next morning I called my mom and I was like, oh yeah, just some drunk idiot was trying to walk into my house. So I don't know if that could be any relevant information. I did not see this person. I just heard it. I was in my bedroom. But last night on Snapchat, Kaylee had posted a few pictures. One of her and Maddie Mogen at the corner club. Mm-hmm. And then the last picture that Kaylee had posted on her Snapchat story was her and Maddie Mogen at Grub Track, which is, I believe, located on Main Street. Yeah, and that was the last thing.
Okay. But none of the girls have talked to you about any ex-boyfriends, any weird guys, and trying to talk to them inappropriately or nothing like that? Mm-hmm. Okay. You don't have any cameras on your apartment?
No,
okay.
I don't.
Okay. All right.
And I didn't hear anything last night.
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's about all I have for you then.
Thank you. I wish I could be
more.
more.
You'd be surprised what little information could lead us in the direction we need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I be concerned that there is somebody out there who's not in custody yet?
As of this time, I still don't have all the information either.
Okay.
We're still trying to get more info. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is going to be a time-consuming thing, but I would, if I lived up in that area, would I take extra precautions? Yes, I would. Even if there's nothing saying.
I just find it kind of stupid that she's a whole big college-age person and she's having to ask the police after a quadruple homicide where they have no arrest. Do I need to be concerned? Why do you have to ask that question? The nonchalant, we mentioned this last night, the nonchalantness of everybody in this area is very freaking weird. I really, really do want to know, like, what's the orientation tape like for University of Idaho? Is there some sort of subliminal brainwashing shit going on in their orientation process? Because they all seem to have this weird, just, Again, home chick, Bethany, was sleeping with that Kai Davis guy. They were worried. His roommates were so worried he might have been one of the people that were killed over there because of how often he'd been at her house. But he doesn't call her to make sure she's alive. He's sleeping with her, doesn't have anything from her on his phone, apparently. He doesn't even call to make sure she's not one of the dead people. Because at this point, no names were out. It just said 4 homicides. He didn't even know. The nonchalantness of all of this has just been so freaking weird. It has been like Twilight Zone, seriously.
That there's a random person doing this, or is it something that was more directed? And we still don't know yet. But it never hurts to take precaution.
Okay.
So making sure your doors are always locked. If you're going to be out walking around at night, making sure you have someone else with you. Some things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's extremely beneficial for you. And then we'll start digging more, and hopefully we can come up with some answers very quickly.
Okay. And then, since I am a part of this possible investigation, am I allowed to go home tomorrow?
Since you are a part of this possible investigation, let's flip that shit real quick. A, you're not a part of a damn thing because you've got no freaking information. And this isn't a possible investigation, sweetheart. 4 people were just murdered. This is an investigation. She's just weird. She's just weird.
With what you've told me, yes.
Okay.
You don't have any information. You weren't in the house or anything like that. There's nothing that you saw that would lead me to need you to stay.
Okay.
So if this is something that you want to leave, by all means. There's nothing that I would say that you need to stay there for. Okay? And I have your phone number. If I need you, I can call you. Okay? And if you think of anything or you hear of anything, please let us know right away.
Okay. I have Tyson's phone number.
Yeah, Captain Barrett would be a good one to contact, and he can either take that information or direct it to one of our detectives.
Okay.
Okay? Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's it. That's it. 6 minutes, 36 seconds of literally like nothing. Literally nothing. Let me drop the Google Drive for the interview with the report in the chat real fast. And then I'll show you guys just the one piece of this interview that I want to show you. I don't think we went over this interview. I feel like I'd wanted to go over this interview, but I didn't go over this interview. I'm going to have to go back on my videos, but I don't think we went over this interview. We might need to. I feel like we did, though. I'm going to stop saying that back and forth and just figure it out here soon. But I'm going to play y'all this clip regardless. And when I go in and check, and if I see that we haven't gone over it in a live, then we'll go over it on a live simply because why not? Why frickin' not? One night when we have nothing else better to do. But let's go ahead and just show you this one piece where Vicky Ward again is like, oh my God, for the people that didn't read my trash ass book, tell them the story that I don't even know the truth of, and I'm going to get it all wrong until you correct me. That's this one. So let me go ahead and play this. Get this on the screen right. It's only going to, and I'll give you all the link for this too. Vicky Ward is such an idiot. Like, honestly. Okay. And it's Wood, not Woods. I had to correct the title in the thingy because I had it as Woods with an S, but I've double checked, triple checked. There's no S at the end of her name, which is interesting. Okay, so listen to this just for a second.
Can you share with the people tuning in and who no doubt will be watching this later as well?
No doubt.
You know, why were you being called to testify? Because if people haven't read the book, they may not know the story.
Neither do you.
You know, what was it that you had that prosecutors thought was important to talk about at a trial?
So it could have been a number of things. I was subpoenaed by the defense, so I would have been having to answer the questions to Ann Taylor. Obviously, I probably would have been cross-examined by the prosecution side as well. But it was either because I was on scene that morning and Ann Taylor wanted to know what I saw that morning, what information was said at the time of the crime scene when we were all sitting outside to try and poke those holes, or she was calling me because of the relationship of my apartment and I can see directly 1122 King Road. That could have also been another factor. And then the third factor was when I got pulled into the police station the morning of November 13th, the police had asked me during my interview or investigation, was there anything that we need to know about that was out of the ordinary or scary within a certain time frame? And I was like, wait, yes. So on October 14th at about 1:03 in the morning, I have metal stairs that go up to my...
Did this chick just say, see, I didn't remember this part. This chick just said at 1:03 in the morning. How in the actual shitty shit do you know that it is 03 in the morning that this situation took place? If you didn't call the police, if you didn't call anybody to come and check out the freaking place, and if you don't have cameras, what do you mean 1:03? That's really specific. That's really specific.
My apartment. So the metal stairs are actually attached to my apartment. So you can hear footsteps and it shakes the entire apartment. So I heard these footsteps coming up my stairs. And I heard my doorknob, because it was a pretty finicky doorknob, and I actually got a deadbolt added to it right when I first moved in a year prior to this incident happening. I heard my doorknob like try and open, and it was locked. And I at first was a little freaked out, but then I realized it's Moscow. Moscow's safe. I've never had an issue or a fright or a feeling that Moscow was
Every
unsafe.
time I hear that shit.
So my initial reaction was, this is just somebody leaving a party. They're probably intoxicated. It was an accident. They might not know where they're going, or they were just trying to come into my apartment and say hi as an old friend.
Yeah, because an old friend is just gonna barge right the frick in, not knock, not call you ahead of time, not text you ahead of time. The gaslighting that these freaking Moscow people do to themselves is disgusting on levels I have never seen before in my life. Oh my God.
Then it got me started thinking after the incident happened, what if it could have been the defendant himself? What if this? So I feel...
Oh, it's so annoying.
Those could have been the three reasons that the defense did subpoena me and want me to testify at trial.
And I'm done. We're not listening to nothing else. See what I mean? She wrote the book. For those who didn't read the book and might not know, you wrote it and you don't know what you mean. That's what I mean. Oh yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Hey Jean, how you doing? Yeah, for sure. Doesn't she? I'd love to know what Sammy Smith was up to today. I have stuff from Truckee that I FOIA'd that I got emails for that I still have to go through. And we still have to go through Ryan Upchurch's deposition, that 4-hour-long deposition. I don't know if he took it down from his channel yet or not. I just know that it was up there for like a super long time. Even after they petitioned the court to remove it, it's been like 2 weeks since I last checked for an update in Kaylee Rodney's case. So we're definitely gonna be looking into that some more. We might even do the live with the deposition this week at some point, but it's long. I don't know. I know that it's like over 4 hours, and we've done live streams that long. Like we went over 4.5 hours when we were reading through all 126 pages of the WSU lawsuit. I just don't know if I can handle Ryan Upchurch 4 hours straight. We might have to do it in sections. Especially since I know that I'm going to be talking a lot. And like I said, I know that people are probably going to say, oh, you're okay with the WSU lawsuit because it's going to bring, depositions and discovery, but you want to run your mouth about Ryan. There's a big difference here. I'm running my mouth about the lawsuit because of the lies, the same way that I'm running my mouth about Ryan Upchurch saying that Kaylee Rodney wasn't a real person, but then also turning around and trying to say that all this other stuff was happening. There's reasons why I have issues with both things. Do I want depositions and information from both? Yes, I do. But the problem is that Ryan Upchurch isn't asking for any. He's actually wanting the whole thing to be like dropped. He tried to do a motion to dismiss. He's not asking for medical information when it comes to Kylie Rodney, nothing. He's asking for stuff about her father and not about her. He's not trying to get evidence in the case. He's just wanting to be a smartass. So there's a huge difference. And I'm going to call out all the things, and that's just what it is. If something changes and he starts asking for things when it comes to the case, then I'll change my mind. But until then, he's just running his mouth and being an asshole. And it's just right up Church's freaking persona. That's just who he is. So we'll probably start going through all that stuff this week, because I'd like to get caught up on what's going on with that civil suit now that we're also following this civil suit. God, there's like so much sub stuff going on. I think she said 1:30. I think she said 1:30. She probably did. But yeah, 103 is like, girl, like if you actually, like if you called someone right then and there, like, sure, let me know in your interviews if you did that to make it make sense. But when she's telling Dustin Blakely she called her dad, I think she's talking about like right before she interviewed. And he's like reminding her, hey, remember about a month ago somebody tried to get into your apartment? That's how that sounded. I could have misinterpreted the way she gave that information over to Blaker. I don't know, but that's how I understood it. That's how I understood it. Is that what she said? Does she say that in the interview that she did with Vicky, that she was outside for 30 minutes before she asked about Xana? It's been a super long time since I listened to that one that I just showed y'all that clip of. I just don't remember right off the bat if we went through it or not. Yeah, she says 103. Okay. Yeah, that's very specific. Very specific. So I don't know. Kathleen Zellner is a badass. I've been watching her work in a couple different cases. Not a lot of stuff really goes public with her, but when she makes a move in the Stephen Avery case, pretty much a lot of people pay attention. A lot of people pay attention. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what she has to say about this. Catherine Zellner, I'll show you her face. You might have seen her. If y'all have watched Making a Murderer on Netflix, y'all know who she is. She did a lot of work in that case to prove that what they were trying to say about Stephen Avery and God, what is the woman's name? Terry or Tracy? It starts with a T. I don't want to say her name wrong. But she is the attorney that's been trying to prove that Stephen Avery did not kill. Teresa Halbach is her name. Teresa Halbach. There's been a lot coming out in that case. There's a lot in that case that I kind of like want to discuss because that's crazy. This is Catherine Zellner. She is the one who has been trying to prove that Stephen Avery is innocent, and so that him and his nephew Brandon, Teresa Halbach, can get out of prison. And that's a really interesting one because Stephen Avery was put in prison, put in jail for something that he didn't do. And they finally proved that he was innocent and he got out of jail. And then right when a lawsuit was going to happen and the police in the city was going to have to pay him millions of dollars, this shit happens with Teresa Halbach. And suddenly they're trying to pin it on him by literally putting stuff in his trailer. There was, I don't even know how many searches in that trailer before things started getting found. Keys just out in the open and bullshit that was obviously obvious. So they wanted him to be guilty. They wanted him to be in jail so they didn't have to pay him all this money. And instead they've ruined his life. They've ruined his nephew's life. They've ruined his entire family's life. It's a lot of disgusting tragedy just to save your face. So this is technically like time number 2. This guy, in my opinion, is in jail for doing something that he didn't do because this little bitty rinky-dink hove-up town doesn't want to admit that they've done something wrong the first time. So they figured, hey, we'll just double down because then it takes away everything that he's got. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. So yeah. Yeah, especially Bobby does, doesn't he? Bobby does. He sure does. Yeah, J-Rod's a loser. I'll say that again. And I know that he's watching. That's for you. He's always been a loser. And the sad part is that he's going to trash me because he's going to try to play victim. Oh, she's got a lot of subscribers, and so now she's just hating on a small creator. People were literally in Willie's chat saying that video was disgusting. We saw it. Nothing's being made up. He can't trash me. He just wants to try to play victim because he's a little bitty small creator. You're a small creator because you suck at everything you try to do. If you were any good, you wouldn't be a small creator after being on YouTube for over 10 years. Home skillet. You are your own problems. It's just that simple. He's just a big loser. And there's one chick. I don't want to like put her name out here just yet because I'm not really quite sure if the person that I'm seeing is the person that I think she is. But when I find out for sure who this person is that's constantly on his side and running her mouth about me and my daughter too, oh, best believe I'm going to put her out here as well. So I hope she feels me looking into her soul right now because I'm not playing these games. We don't talk shit about somebody's child. It's just that simple. It's just that super simple. He will always be a joke and always be a wannabe. He always tries to get people's attention. He tries to get new creators to like him because they don't know who he is. But he's a loser and he will always be a loser. And there's nothing anybody can do about it because he's so freaking old. This is who he is. It's what he'll always be. If you're going to sit there and not know that someone who died 6 years before somebody was born can't actually be responsible for shit, you can't do kindergarten math. You shouldn't be out here talking about true crime. Your IQ isn't high enough. Straight up. Idiot. Oh, wouldn't you just love to think that that was a little bit more like held back? True Crime Design is somebody that I used to really appreciate their work until the Dot situation. I don't know what they've talked about here recently. I know that they're really, really good at putting stuff together and telling a story. I'm not going to try to take that away from that channel. But when Dot came out on the panels and admitted that she was fake, when the truth came out, True Crime Design went on. You guys remember Rory from Thou Shalt Not Kill? When Riley Lively and Brad Norton and all of them were on that panel, and we had the confession from Dot and everything else already out there saying that she had been a fraud. True Crime Design went on Rory's channel where all this was being put out there and basically said that I don't care what's being said. It's obvious that she knows more than what she's letting on. No one's paying attention to her, blah, blah, blah. And then they put a video out like 2 days later that got hundreds of thousands of views, calling her some sort of like silenced witness. When she heard the confessions, or whoever runs that channel, I'm assuming it's a female. When the person who runs True Crime Designs heard the confessions come out of Dot's face literally 2 days before they posted this video. So in my opinion, I feel like they went and put a lot of time and a lot of effort into a video that they now are seeing as irrelevant because the person came out and admitted that they were a fraud and they didn't care because they wanted their money for their time. So they made a comment. Everyone saw it. Everyone was like, what are you talking about? Rory went and commented back on it. This person didn't give a shit that the truth was out there. And they put that out there and they caused even more confusion, even though for the past 3 or 4 weeks before this, everyone, me, Dago, everyone on that side, people from TikTok, everyone was trying to figure out what was going on with this person in this story. This was around the same time as the Linda Lane leak information and all the crazy shit. So when they came out there and did that, they took away all the hard work that we had done to debunk the lies after the person already came out here and admitted that they were lying. So if you're going to sit there and comment on a video where the truth is being spoken and say that you don't care, and then you come out and you put a video out full of lies, even though the truth is out there, I have a problem with you. It's nothing personal. It's about the facts. And if you're going to do that kind of thing, then I have a problem with you. Again, just like I have issues with Chronicles of Olivia, she's a good storyteller. She knows how to edit. She knows how to go and be boots on the ground, whatever. I just don't personally like what she does and how she does certain things. Same thing with True Crime Design. They're good at putting a story together. They're good at telling the story. They're good at doing all the editing. But you showed me your priority when you did that, if that makes any sense. If that makes any sense. It's about the real facts. That's the thing right there. It's about the real facts. And if you're going to make yourself known on the video where the truth comes out that you don't care about the truth, and then you put out a video, I swear the last time I checked that video, it had over 200-something thousand views. you're spreading misinformation for profit at that point. You're telling me that you're not really here for the real reasons. And so after that, I just stopped paying attention. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Yeah, I used to watch so many, and now I just really can't watch any because I'd rather just do the research myself. Because at least then I know that the information that I have is accurate. He very much is uneducated trash. Straight up. Bro, I saw that. And they were like delivering food to the house. And she apparently had a tally of how many times mom and dad said they couldn't pick me up. And there was like 87 or 89 little marks of, I guess, how many times she had asked them when they were going to come and get her. And they were just like living their freaking life in Florida like a piece of shit, like both pieces of shit. How do you just abandon your child like that and just go live somewhere else in a beach area and not even care? Wasn't she like 14? She was like 14. And she'd been living alone for years. And special needs. Special needs. Pieces of shit. See, and this is going to sound kind of harsh, but people that can do that kind of stuff, to me, they don't deserve to keep breathing. Those would be people on that list. People that can do that kind of shit. That's like almost worse than just taking her life and trying to just like hide her body and going and moving to Florida and just trying to like do whatever. Because at least at that point, she's not suffering anymore. Instead, they just left her there to fend for herself. And it was full of poop and feces. They had to have been like paying the bills. So they were paying double the bills to keep the lights on, to send groceries to this girl's house while they were paying Florida bills instead of just being parents and raising their special needs child. Like what? No, you need to not be alive anymore. You need to just not be alive anymore. It's so gross. Thank you. Yeah, he's horrible. He's freaking horrible. And I had just like walked away from it until Ariel walked in here that day. It was like, and look, her birthday's in 5 days. She's going to turn 19 on the 16th. This was last year before her 18th birthday. I was sitting here. My desk was this way and I was facing like this. And she busted into the door, holding her phone, cussing his ass out. Who the hell is this asshole? Who the F does he think he is? He doesn't know what the shit he's talking about. He's talking shit about your uncle. He's trying to blame him for all this. Who is this loser? I said, Ariel, just turn it off and don't even comment. Just turn it off and pretend like you never even saw it. Just walk away from it and leave it alone. She was crying. She was so upset. And he wants to sit there and boudet and play victim. I might need to make a trip to Ohio. He's such a freak. It's Amy. That stupid little biatch right there. That's the one. Amy Conway is her username here on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Like you sat there and you talked shit about a child. So what makes you think that you can come out here and play the victim whatsoever? And I'm probably going to clip my rant at the beginning of this and post it again, just so it's out there with his ugly ass, funky looking ass face on it. Because if you're a piece of shit, I can call you ugly. Because you are. So that's probably what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Yep. He's such a loser. Beyond a loser. Maybe if he actually put some footwork into things, he wouldn't be such a loser. Because we're out here filing FOIAs and paying for shit and really getting true evidence for things. And he just wants to be a reactor. He just wants to sit back and run his mouth about shit that he doesn't even have a foot in, which is insane to me after a decade. So that's crazy. But yeah, whoever this Amy Conway weirdo is, she used to be over here on this channel like all the time, supporting the channel and all over the place. But I also know that her and there's like a group of a couple of other weirdos that got together like 3 years ago and tried to lie a bunch of stuff on Dago and get together and talk a bunch of shit on Reddit. Like they're part of that group that says that they wish that my ex would find me and finish the job. This is those people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Insane. Insane. Yeah, he's an idiot. Oh, yeah. 2 years before. That's why I was pissed off at Birdie. And people want to act like I'm just being mean because he's another creator and you just, oh my God, all this drama. No, bro. Dot came out. We did the videos. If you go back on my channel, we went live twice. We went live to go over Dot's own words coming out of her own face during an interview that she did with Melissa Jade. Then we went over the live with Melissa Jade where Brett Norton came out and told her side of the story. Dot is fake. And all of the information for that out of her own mouth had been out there for 2 years before Birdie invited her onto the channel. That's why I got mad at Birdie for doing the same shit that I just said that True Crime Design did. You already know. There's no way that you did research on Dot and her story and didn't come across those interviews. You didn't come across the plethora of channels like mine, Dago's, all kinds of other people's channels who went and did reactions to the truth finally coming out. Yes, you did, sir. You selectively chose to ignore the truth so that you could have a bunch of people coming onto your channel pretending like you've got some sort of muted witness and given sympathy and coming into your chat and you're getting your views and your clicks off of bullshit. That's why I was upset. Because if he's really somebody who's deep diving and looking into things, homeboy, you saw her confession. It was on TikTok 2 years ago. And didn't he come to YouTube from TikTok? Birdie is not new to this, which is why I don't understand why people are trying to give him any sort of leeway. Oh, he's new to YouTube. He's not new to life. He's not new to social media. He's not new to true crime. He came from TikTok, which is honestly harder to like get an audience and get going on TikTok than it is on YouTube. Everything when it comes to Dot and Brett Norton all originated on TikTok. He knew. He had access to everything. So yes, that's why I was upset about it, because there's no way he did all the research to get her to come up and didn't see all of the videos, including her own words, confessing that it was bullshit. Yeah, you did. And you still chose to do what you did. That's why I got a problem. If somebody has a problem with me having a problem with that, then they're the problem. I don't really know how else to put it. Braden is Dot's real name. He doesn't. My introduction at all. No, he's a cherry picker is what he is. My introduction to Birdie's channel was him showing some fake ass documents trying to say that Kaylee didn't die until like December 10th or some weird shit like that. I ended up getting, this was back whenever me and Kara were still talking, Xana's mom. This is back when I told you guys that she was getting really upset because people were sending her links and stuff to Birdie's stupid ass freaking videos talking about how, oh my God, there's a possibility that Xana's actually still alive and all this crazy shit. Birdie doesn't understand, and people that do that kind of shit don't understand. There's a difference between coming out and saying, okay, Stephen Christie, why are you lying about the Wi-Fi? Why are you lying about Jack Decor? When we have physical proof, black and white evidence that there are lies being told. But when you're coming out and you're going and running and telling a freaking parent that, hey, this guy showed this paper on his channel and your daughter might not be dead. Bro, what are you doing? Why are you spreading that kind of shit? Sorry if I'm not okay with people being that way, but not sorry about it at the same time. I'm almost 40 years old. I don't have time for people that want to lie about things. Why do that? This case, like I've always said, is traumatic enough, dramatic enough, heartbreaking enough, sad enough. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. It's sad. No, it's a lot. Phoenix is another one because she had people in my comments saying that there was a blurred out body underneath the ping pong table in the living room in the body cam. What? Why? Why would you come up with the most asinine, stupid shit in the middle of the most asininely stupid case that we've ever encountered in our lives just to make it worse? People like that make us look bad, guys. People that do that that's who people think about when they think of the true crime community. Not people like me and you who care about the documents and the facts and are literally talking to the freaking police department and talking to the city attorney and trying to get proof. They put that as a true crime community. So unless you starve the grift, then that's what the true crime community is always going to be to the rest of the world, because for some reason people think it's funny and entertaining to keep those people out here with views. Why? Why are you in true crime if you're okay with people that are false and giving you false information? No, that's not how it works. It's literally in the name. It's literally in the name. It's just sad. If you can't comprehend like simple English, then I don't know what to tell you. No, there is no birdie defense. All he had to do was do the searches, which he already did. There's no way that he did not go and look her name up and her information on YouTube and not see the hundreds of thousands of views that all the videos had of her confessing. Stop. Stop. He is a grown-ass man that knows what he's doing. Stop. I'm so serious. Yeah, like, what is wrong with you? Why would you say that kind of crazy stuff? And I say again, I'm not here to make friends with anyone. I'm also not a coworker to these people. I'm my own boss. I pay taxes on the money that I make here on YouTube. It comes to me once a month with no taxes taken out, and it's a whole freaking headache at the end of the year to do all the things because I'm my own boss here. I don't have loyalty to people. I don't have loyalty to this platform. I have loyalty to tell the truth. So if people think that it's talking shit or it's drama, when someone who has been busting their ass to make sure that the facts are out there gets exhausted with people who do that kind of shit and bring false information out there, then you are the problem. You. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The people that are mad at me for wanting nothing but the truth out there, y'all are the problem. Y'all are the problem. What are you on YouTube for and not watching News Nation if you're okay with that kind of stupid shit? You've got something else wrong with you up here. If you are okay with people spreading false information in a case that has something to do with very, very real people that you know is false, and if you continue to watch the people whenever you know that they're giving you false information, then that means you're accepting it. You're accepting the lie and saying, it's okay. Have some self-respect. Why are you okay being lied to? That's weird. That's weird. No. He knows the insanity that his so-say hive wants him to talk about, and they're so off track to the truth because of the bullshit that they put out there that they don't know the facts of this case. They don't. You can argue with them all day long, and they're not going to know timelines, anything like that. Yeah, exactly. If you're going to say that I'm a bad guy because I want the truth out there and I'm not okay with people coming out and putting false information out, then you're the problem. You are the problem. It's not funny. It's sad and pathetic because the state is not doing these victims any justice. They're not doing the families any justice. And to put out a bunch of false stuff when we're already going and waiting and drowning in lies is so unnecessary. I don't believe they're looped. I don't believe they're looped. I don't believe they're looped. I've watched them back to back. I don't know. I don't think they're looped. That would be a lot of stuff for the MPD to do, considering that they came straight from them. Yeah, that's also strange too. Yeah, I agree. It's because he wants people to feel like they're collectively in a group together. He wants them to feel like it's a real community by giving it a weird label like that when it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Thank you for the 20, Vanessa. We're here for it. Your integrity speaks for itself. All of your videos. We love you for it. I appreciate that. It just makes me mad. I've been lied to about a lot of stuff in my life. As a child, growing up a Jehovah's Witness and all the bullshit, and then just dealing with the bullshit and all the stuff we've had to go through. So when again, and it might sound selfish, let it sound selfish. I've been out here for 3 years now trying to put the truth out there. So when people just pop up and they put a bunch of lies out there, I think I have the right to be angry. You're basically slapping me and every one of my viewers who paid for these FOIAs and are here to go through the documents and put the work in right in the face, along with the victims. When you come out here doing that kind of crazy shit, you're not here for them. You're not here for them when you're doing that. You're here for you. You're here for you. Yeah. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. See, and that's why I give my opinion about Delphi, and like while the stuff was going on and all the crazy stuff, I give my opinion about it. But it's just like, I wasn't here 7 years ago when people were digging into this to know everything. There's no reason for me to jump in and try to act like I know every little thing and just become the deep diver in that case. I would be completely overstepping. The same thing with Summer Wells. I can have my opinion on what I think might have happened, but I wasn't there 7, 8 years or 5 years ago whenever all this started and following it from the very beginning. Oh, who do I look like trying to jump into this and trying to say that I know every little thing? No, there's so much that gets missed. If you're not in it as it's going in real time, you can get so lost because there's so much information out there, and then you have to also wade through all of that to see what's true and what's not. And when you have so many channels out there, even bigger channels that are out there constantly regurgitating a bunch of nonsensical bullshit, it's hard to find out what the truth is. That's why I don't get into those cases like that. Yeah, did you do y'all know the Christy and Scott Desmond people? She's the chick that puts on the high heels and does like the cartwheels and the crazy shit. Did y'all know that they were Jehovah's Witnesses? They're out here with like 17 million people on TikTok, and they're Jehovah's Witnesses. That goes against the gaudiness, the idolization, and all the things. And now they're publicly getting a divorce because he cheated on her. And now everyone's like, holy shit, and they're Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm sorry. What? I was flabbergasted. That's why I did a video about it on my second channel, because I'm sorry. What? I was floored. Oh my God, I was so floored. So freaking floored. Yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy. Super wild. All right, you guys, we've been on here for about an hour now. It's about 9:40. I'm going to go ahead and jump off so I can maybe get to bed a little bit early. Kind of hoping. But thank you so much for y'all being in here again. She doesn't really have a lot to say. 6 minutes of an interview really is not a lot. Thank you so much for coming in here with me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. You guys have a great Sunday. We will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to do just yet. But I will drop the raw footage for the noon to 1:02 in the morning, probably around the same time that I did the rest of them, so that they're pretty much like the same. I do have on my board that I do want to go through Gundy's cam and Smith's cam and Warner's cam this week at some point to get caught up on the body cams. Don't hold me to this, because I know I say this kind of shit all the time and then stuff happens because I'm the only one doing everything everywhere. So I can't help the fact that schedules change. But I'm hoping that I can do 2 lives a week, 2 lives a day this week, 3:15 and or maybe 3:45 and like 8 o'clock if we do 2. But for sure, we're gonna go live every day to go over the cams for those 3. Warner's, I was going in and getting rid of a bunch of the not getting rid, but where there's no movement, where there's no talking, where there's nobody walking, I was going in and fast forwarding it. And then stopping it where something actually was happening. Plus, he does a lot freaking cam. So I was trying to get rid of all that snotty stuff that we hear the whole freaking 3 freaking hours because it's gross. So we still need to watch those. We've just had so much going on. Plus, hopefully they give us the unredacted documents again, but I'm sure they're going to be redacted. I don't know what they're going to do with those, especially with this new order that was put, or at least the new motion that was put out by the state talking about, who knows what when it comes to these redactions. I just don't know what they're going to do, especially now with the lawsuit. If they stop releasing documents because we are now in a civil lawsuit, I'm going to be upset. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be upset. But it's something that I've wondered if they're going to stop now that there's a civil suit that's public. So I don't know. Huh? We have audio from 2:25 to 3 o'clock. We have that part. It's the 12:55 to 2:25. And then now the noon to 1:02. So both ends of the 12-hour segments are silent, which is bullshit, because 2:25 to 2:30 is the very first 5-minute segment that we received when they finally gave us the information, and 2:27 is that damn scream. And they're trying to tell us that that same segment that has sound is part of the 12:55 to 2:30 that's silent and there's no audio. Bullshit. We've got 5 minutes of the audio. What do you mean? That's why I don't know what to think about it, because so many people had cloud access. And he took days. Mallory took days to finally go in there and download it while all these people had cloud access. So it's questionable. It really is freaking questionable. Super questionable. So wild. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here again. Thank you for spending some time with me on your Sunday night. Thank you for the $20 super sticker once again. And thank you for being here for so long, because putting up with me for over 2 years, that's a lot. That's like a super lot. All right, you guys have a great night. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.